motherfucker a job! What the hell is that?
You know what? That's only my second time doing that. I still, you know what? That is my new favorite thing to do. That is my new favorite thing to do. It is. It will not be beat. I'm sorry. I appreciate subscribing with the Prime and how you've been subscribed for 20. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. I appreciate that you've been subscribed. What, for 2 years? That's a baby. That's a baby. But hello. I 5 days. What? I almost went a week. I almost went a full week not touching a stream. Somebody asked me yesterday, tell Chris the Narc to stream more, and I don't know if I'm. First of all, I don't care because Chris can't do shit to me other than bitch. Chris basically is just giving up. Chris essentially is just said fuck it. He's gonna stream whatever he wants. He considers himself retired, which is gay because what? Like, I've retired for. No, you were not an NBA player. You're not a war veteran. You're not in anything collegiate. You're not retiring from anything. Like, stop thinking that stop thinking everything's on equal footing. Everything is not on equal footing, and everything will never be on equal footing. When someone retires from like 30 years of a teaching job, that's retirement. Okay? You retire from being a janitor for a stadium. That's retirement. You retire. Fuck, I'm trying to think of like things that are more qualified to say you retired from. I got tired of streaming. So no, you're not the same. You'll never be the same. Stop it. He moving to Japan with PewDiePie. Yeah, he has said nigga too much. So, like, him saying nigga too much, like, kind of on the realm of PewDiePie. He could just take a break. The problem is he's been doing that the whole time. He's been doing that the whole time. But I despise when streamers or YouTubers do this douchey ass, oh, I'm retired. Retiring from what? Sitting in a chair and talking about art, pedophiles? Are you sure that's how you want to like measure that? Also, I got a first time chatter on Twitch. Now I don't. It's too early. Literally, the stream's only 4 minutes long. I don't know if I should put you through the initiation. I don't know. Like, I don't necessarily know if I should put you through the initiation. It wouldn't make sense. It's too early. It's too early to put you through the initiation. It's too early. It's too early in the stream. 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 Maybe. If you're still here within like an hour, maybe. No, I will not do it. It's too early. It's too early. It's too early. It's too early. Welcome to the plantation. Welcome to the plantation. Hello from the land of $11 gas. Congrats on what y'all voted for. Congrats. Like, congrats. Hey, I heard the new propaganda is that within only a few hours, ICE agents cleared out all airports. Okay. Okay, if you want to believe that there are several airports that have been backed up for days, and within only a few hours, all of them cleared out, okay. Okay. If you want to believe that shit, okay. Propaganda used to be something difficult to like put out there. Now, because we have all this access to different forms of propaganda, fuck, everybody a liar. Like, everybody a liar? The only YouTuber I know that retired is MadPat. And MadPat did just like stop and then went on to be a politician. Like that's like the weirdest jump. You talk about like you talk about motherfuckers going from one thing to another, and it's like the weirdest ones are like YouTuber, politician, and porn star to Christian girl. So it's like those are the two weirdest in terms of online that I'll never really like be able to map out, because going from YouTuber that makes theories about horror video games and Mario's daughter and like all this shit to politician, it's weird. But it's not like a bad weird. It's just like a But see, porn star to Christian podcaster, that's weirder. Like that's always gonna be the weirdest of the weird. Actually, no, because there are pedophiles out there that try to like act as if they've never done anything. That's the weirdest. 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 It cannot be like it cannot be misconstrued. Riley Reid avoided Christian pipeline and just married a guy who didn't mind how much. What a horrible world I live in with you people. I live in a fucked timeline. Who we talk about? Oh, we're just riffing at the moment because I'm building my anger. Because in a minute, you gonna understand. Like, I'm like, what's your opinion on the stock market? God, you gotta know somebody in order to like really make it big. Other than that, it's just luck. Like if you know somebody, you could walk away with some millions. But if you just like a common citizen, you better hope that shit go okay for you. We gotta sit here and hope that when we put in like that $100 into this, in like a year, that 100 go to 300,000. We gotta hope. We gotta sit here and hope. Are we talking about the coffee man today? Yes. But the Dow is at 50,000. Having that be something said in a conversation where you're giving, like, I ain't gonna say testimony because that might be the wrong word, where you're like giving statements in regards to the Epstein files. That's kind of nuts. But that is just like a layer of the cake that has been 2026. Like that is just one layer of what has already gone on in just 3 months. Do you realize next week we're in April and so much shit has gone on? It's too much. Speaking of child abuse, Buffalo school system failed their investigation because the team they assigned to investigate didn't have the power to investigate crap. Didn't you always know that was going to be the case? Like there was somebody that kept asking me to look into this Buffalo school system. And as I just silently did it, I thought to myself, somebody's fucking this up. And it's not going to go over well for the people that actually needed this investigation to go good. I am excited for Spider-Man. No, I'm not Jewish. Like, listen, enough. Enough of you. Enough of you. All right? It was funny a week ago. Your religious beliefs are your own. I put you in the same category as everybody else on this planet. Believe what you want. Don't rape no kids. You rape a kid, fuck you, and fuck what you believe. Controversial hot take, I know, but I gotta treat everybody equally. But I am, you know what's crazy? Should we even do it? Should I even pull up the video that I watched for about 3 minutes and then just groaned? Do I need to explain to everybody that that this shit still exists? Do I need to do we need to watch the Spider-Man Brand New Day woke slop for retards? Or do we all casually understand that a guy like this will waste his time saying all the buzzwords necessary to hit that type of audience that would eat this shit up, while also admitting he doesn't know shit about anything comic book wise? Like, do we need to? Do we need to watch it? I am a slave to my audience.
Spider-Man Brand New Day is the most retarded piece of shit I've seen in a very long time. Somehow 4 movies into Tom Holland's run as Spider-Man still has him falling around the place, acting like a complete handicap.
Why? Wait a minute. Why are we ignoring that trailer is showing a development in his body through the changes and the stress? What are we? Why are we pretending? Okay, just keep.
Even with 4 movies and a new universe under his belt, this guy still manages to be the biggest cock known to man.
Even if it breaks Peter Parker's heart.
Why are we? Wait a minute. How is it a cuck if we think about the last movie and how this motherfucker just sacrificed everybody knowing him so that they could be saved? The universe isn't fractured at that point in time. Of course. Like, and the sick part is this is what everybody wanted. Did y'all see the timeline when this trailer dropped? That this motherfucker was suffering, that this motherfucker was broke, that this motherfucker was bitchless. Everybody was cheering because that's the Spider-Man they wanted. Not the motherfucker who just automatically had $1 billion suit waiting for him. Oh, fuck.
Oh yeah, and just because they shittily recreated some classic comic covers doesn't make this absolute cinema anywhere near good.
Well, we don't know if it's going to be cinema or good. And honestly, while I'm hyped to see a new Spider-Man movie, I'm not about to just walk out of there like, this is the best shit ever. It actually needs to be good in order, like, for me to be satisfied. Because if it's bad, the fear is that they're gonna reboot the franchise again, and I don't want that. I'm old. Unc is old. Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland. I should not have this. I should have just had like one stretch of one Spider-Man, but because movie studios wanted to do too much twice, we now have Tom Holland. The sick part is the Spider-Man No Way Home had a lot in it, but somehow managed it in a perfect amount of time. Somehow. Now, was it perfect? 10 out of 10? No. But they somehow managed to do what Spider-Man 3 and TASM 2 couldn't. Manage the time with a bloated fucking roster. And that's why we still got Tom. And listen, Toby is still the best one, but oh my God, Tom is in the running.
Especially for the people who are hyping this up and saying that it's amazing, you haven't read any of the comics that they're referencing, and also ignoring all of that, it just looks like it was made by AI for spastics on Twitter who eat up every single piece of guy slop they get fed. But before we get
I've heard like 7 different buzzwords in this video. And it's 13 minutes. We ain't even reach a minute. We 58 seconds in. I done heard like 7 buzzwords.
If you like these type of videos and if you want to help out the channel, maybe consider subscribing or supporting me over on Patreon. And if you're somebody who's hate watching this video, then just know that it's not rage bait, it's not lying, it's not misinformation. This isn't coming from somebody who doesn't read comic books. This is just the truth. That Spider-Man Brand New Day isn't comic accurate. It's not a good Spider-Man movie. And
well, this is the part where I'm gonna say it's rage bait. None of us have seen the movie. The movie don't come out for like another 3 months. No, none of us have seen it. None of us have seen the movie. He's talking about you, Leon. Hey, he can talk about me all he want. But the problem is that he hasn't seen the movie. I haven't seen the movie. If the movie's bad, I could be one of the first people to tell y'all, hey, bro, I was excited for this shit. I went in and watched it. But boy, this shit bad here, this shit bad here, this shit bad here, this shit bad here. But bro, He didn't even wait till the movie came out.
It does so many things that go against the entire Marvel universe, Spider-Man as a character, and superheroes in general, so it can't be accepted than anything else other than just plain garbage. Any real fan of Spider-Man would reject this bullshit on the spot. Stop trying to nostalgia bait people and pull them in because you recreated Spider-Man's first cover. How about you actually adapt Amazing Fantasy number 15, and then you have a good movie on your hands, and not whatever the fuck Spider-Cuck is meant to be here. So this isn't going to be some 20-minute video because we already know the deal with this movie. It looks like
Close enough. It's 13 minutes.
the biggest piece of shit known to man, made by Grok in an afternoon. But as you expect, it has all of the NPCs who don't read comic books and have definitely never read these Spider-Man comic books and are just eating this up because it's a brand new Marvel product that they need to love, and it can't be anything other than a 10 out of 10.
Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, but like, and I'm only speaking for me. Marvel, like after Endgame, I know generational hot take, but I've been told y'all, like, watching all these Marvel movies and shows, it's not really something I'm gonna do. I've been told y'all, I'm only like in it for the Spider-Man, maybe the Deadpool. Yes, I will skip all of the fucking lore of all these shows and movies that have come out to watch the new Avengers that comes out. All these shows ain't 10 out of 10s. But because you motherfuckers seemingly think if you bitch, that somehow makes a difference. And whenever something happens, you say the world's going back to normal, even though it's not.
I continue. That's a little message for the type of people who love this stuff and attack people who have any different opinion. You know, you can just turn around and say, Spider-Man Brand New Day doesn't look nearly as good as any other Spider-Man movie ever made.
Stop. Go back. I just want to hear all of this again, because we have a problem.
Spider-Cuck is meant to be here. So this isn't going to be some 20-minute video because we already know the deal with this movie. It looks like the biggest piece of shit known to man, made by Grok in an afternoon. But as you expect, it has all of the NPCs who don't read comic books and have definitely never read these Spider-Man comic books and are just eating this up because it's a brand new Marvel product that they need to love, and it can't be anything other than a 10.
So you calling him Spider-Cuck, you're making fun of fans who are excited to see a hopefully good movie.
10 out of 10. Before I continue, that's a little message for the type of people who love this stuff and attack people who have any different opinion. You know, you can...
You just attack people who have a different opinion from you. Your opinion is that, I guess, every piece of entertainment today sucks, which is just a true lie. And you're trying to say, hey, you could just say that things are bad and that's fine. You legitimately just shat on the movie, you shat on the fans, and now you're trying to backdrop it with, hey, it's okay to say something's bad. No. Wait a minute. No. Sir, that's not how that works.
You can just turn around and say, Spider-Man Brand New Day doesn't look nearly as good as any other Spider-Man movie ever made. And it kind of looks mediocre. You don't have to say that you hate it. You don't have to say that it looks garbage or political.
You just called him Spider-Cuck. You, in 2 minutes and 32 seconds, said all the buzzwords necessary. You're talking about yourself. You're talking about you. You're not talking about anybody else. You're not talking about anybody who's watching this shit and criticize. You're talking about yourself.
Political. You could just say that it's not really that great. Because being objective, that's what this movie is. No matter what way you look at it, it's a complete failure in writing and as a Spider-Man movie. The only good Spider-Man movies ever made that were comic accurate and objectively the best were Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy.
Whoa. Time. There's no way you saying this nigga's franchise of Spider-Man movies was comic book. This is rage bait. Hey, W. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. 10 out of, hey, I ain't gonna, 10 out of 10 rage bait. You got me, big dog. You got me. In the big 2026, I done fell for some rage bait. Ain't nothing too wrong about that. Ain't nothing bad about that. I'm a grown man. I can admit it. I'm a grown man. I can admit it. I fell for some rage bait. That is 100%. Because when you tell me about comic book accuracy, and then you show me this. Matter of fact, you got me. The champion level rage bait. I'm not even watching the rest of this. I'm good. I'm not watching the rest of this. Aren't you 5'7"? Absolutely not. I am the average height of a male. I am 5'9". Leon clocked out. Like, listen, W rage bait. W. Not can't be mad. Can't be upset about. All you gotta do is give it a golf clap. You give it a golf clap. That's how it works. If you look at what is online, and then you listen to it and you consume it, and then you see some shit that's like an obvious rage bait, you just gotta accept the fact that you got rage baited. If you accept the fact that you got rage baited, you'll be all right. You will be absolutely 100% all right with being rage baited. Also, Kyram, I appreciate you being a member for 19 months. Not as luxurious in the development as Monkey Wolf, who's been a subscriber for 2 years. Because, you know, he's a 2-year-old. And you're still that nasty, gross 1-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Just a nasty, gross, ugly, still shit to bed. Monkey Wolf's a scholar at 2 years old. 19 months, still watching Barney, still fucking shit in the bed, scared of the dark. Monkey Wolf's a war veteran. Speaking of war, have fun getting drafted, everybody. Like, have fun. I know y'all wanted that. I know. Congrats, you got what you voted for. All that shit. Congrats. I know it was exciting. It was thought-provoking to be in that moment. Congrats on what you voted for. Spectacular. Skill. I'm ripping today. I just for a moment. Can I bring it back to this? I've been on this really interesting arc of WWE 2K26, and the only reason for that is because I am somebody who has been playing yearly released sports type games for years. I have now given up on the concept of caring about these games because graphical improvements really won't matter or mean as much anymore, because nothing will truly mean as much as the jump from the PS3 to the PS4. Graphical improvements mean nothing. At this point, I just want gameplay to be fine. And for a yearly release game, I would expect that there's no problem. Just print the same fucking game out, print the money, have fun. But these developers do a great job, bro. I swear. These developers, it just like continuing our discussion about WWE 2K26, you got the same developer that told everybody that if you figure out a way to get things quicker in the battle pass, that's cheating and that's circumventing the system. You now got him out here saying, block out the negativity. It doesn't reflect reality. Oh no, buddy. The insults and the negativity, well, not really the insults, because I'm not about to excuse racism. The negativity and the criticism you have gotten over your brain dead take about people finding ways in game to get experience quicker. Yeah, that's reality. You speaking as if the common man is not allowed to figure out a way to get things quicker, not glitching the game, not going in and changing code in the game, not modding the game, just going in, changing the settings, getting experience quicker. That's not bad. That's not circumventing the system. You know it is circumventing the system? Buying level skips. Going in to a My Team, My Faction Ultimate Team, buying packs just to circumvent doing anything of grind in order to get attires, cards, features, whatever. And you can imagine all the comments just being on his ass for it. Why? Because of course they will. But you know what? Instead of focusing too much on the developer and how brain dead his takes are, I want to focus on the community, because now we've went from why is a battle pass in this game to here's how we could make it work. No, you don't want to make a battle pass work in a game that comes out every year. Why not? It's because whatever you're grinding for right now will probably just be free in the next game. Not even free, because you still gotta pay 70, 100, 120, 150. Fuck it. They might just go and say fuck $200 for WWE 2K27. And with that, you get a broom that you can fuck yourself with. When you have people trying to figure out ways to make sugar out of shit, all it does is entice a developer in the meeting to say, hey, how can we find a different way to nickel and dime them out of money? And then they're going to come up with that. Y'all going to complain about that. And you're still going to have people who buy it. Because regardless, in all of what everybody's saying about this game, from features being taken out, features not being in, features being broken, community creations apparently still being broken. Did anybody see that the WWE 2K Games Twitter account updated the game? They posted about an update to tell you motherfuckers that they're coming out with a bigger update to fix all the broken things. Do you understand how brain dead that is? You could have just came out with a statement saying, hey, we heard all the noise about all these different issues in all these different game modes. We are working on a big update. You do not need to update the game to tell everybody you updating the game. But because I live in a world where people are okay with being given shit and being convinced that it's sugar, here's what we have. We have a game that everybody knew was going to, at some point, implement a battle pass. Why? Because they implemented the island, which is a rendition of the city on NBA 2K. But because we have motherfuckers who want to pretend that just because they go to community day and they know everything about a game, they somehow were like, oh no, it's not that deep. It ain't that bad. It's not that much. That's never going to happen. And it happened. People called this years ago because everyone who plays NBA 2K knows that anything that's a game that has a 2K in front of it is going to start implementing battle passes, online servers for some fucking reason, and somehow think that that's going to be the way. And I'm sorry to burst anybody's bubble. This will be here next year. This will be here the year after. This will be here the year after that, because they found a way to make some money. They're going to make money off of this. They have made money off of this because people don't want to grind for Mr. Iguana. They'll just skip through it, they'll buy it, and they'll have Mr. Iguana for the pointless matches that they do in universe mode. When Jeff Hardy reaches that status of being in the game, because I think he's going to be in the game in June, July, for some fucking reason, because you need like some dumbass way to stretch the longevity of a game that comes out every year. That's another thing, because when I'm looking at it, folks on here being racist, all I said was they want to give reasons to keep playing all year. What reasons? This game comes out every year. I'm sorry, but the longevity of a yearly release game dries up within a few months. Why? Because it ends up being stale. There's not enough new content to keep people engaged. There's another game coming out next year. It's nothing. There's nothing. You're going to play the same game next year. And I'm not saying it to sound better than you. Currently, I'm playing Madden. I'm not better than you. I'm just somebody who's recognizing, hey, this shit is not worth it. I'm not getting Madden 27. I'm not getting NBA 2K 27. I'm not getting college football 27. I'm not getting WWE 2K 26. I'm not getting WWE 2K 27. I'm just not. I'm enjoying this last run of wasting my time with a yearly release game because overall, these games are just not fun anymore. And that's just me. I'm not trying to convince nobody, no, you should join me. Do whatever you want. It's your fucking money. I can't stress that enough. But what I can't stand is this concept that has just gone on for all this time. And people was telling everybody that the more this goes on, the more it's going to like get worse monetary wise. And the more they're going to try to get money out of y'all. And the amount of people that's like, that's never going to happen. That's never this. That's never that. You realize that they got people, I'm talking about Madden specifically, who make videos. Oh my God, guys, I'm going to buy this new pack. Don't buy this pack. EA is so money hungry. And then they go right to the next Madden and do the same thing and say the same thing. They will sit there and be like, oh, you shouldn't buy this pack. This is just a waste of money. As they buy the pack in front of your face. As they then go to the next Madden and buy those packs so they could get a chance at 99 overall Michael Vick or legendary Beaver Biter Puka Nakua or Peyton Manning. It will continue because there are people that just want to have their moment in being viewed as like the person who speaks very kindly or negatively about said thing. And it's never going away. It'll go away for you personally if you understand the spin and you just don't want to engage with it anymore. But the more people are trying to convince themselves of how ways things could work, And the more they try to say, oh, it's not bad, it just needs this tweak, the more they're going to find new ways to bend you over and take your wallet and then nut on your back just because of their own satisfaction. And it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop unless you decide it's your choice, it's your money, that you don't want to buy this shit anymore. And regardless of a battle pass, the game's broken. A game that comes out every year should not be broken. Like, I'm sorry. That excuse of they're trying to add new things, what are they adding? Cutscenes? That's not enough to break a game. What are they adding? A new wrestler? That's not enough to break the game. What are they adding? A fucking update to the island? That's not enough to break the game. Sorry, but a game, if it's a game that comes out every year for like 3 years, fine. Figure out all the nooks and crannies, buff them out, and then come out with a perfect product. But these motherfuckers don't come out with perfect products at all. They just come out with copy and paste with a new piece that's somehow supposed to be like the thing that's enticing everybody to pre-order. It is just not. But like I said, it's your money. So if you like a developer pissing in your face, or if you want to like wish upon a star that a money enticing scheme is somehow going to get better if you find a different way to get fucked in your ass, have fun. Like, just have a time, everybody. Just have a time. Have a time. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the sensation of what it means to get pilgrimaged. I miss Ukes. You also miss getting fucked in your face. Those Ukes games weren't all good. But I want to play as Oba. Have fun. Like, legitimately. Have fun. Have a time. I just say, for me, I can't have a time anymore. I can't have a time anymore. I just can't. I can't have a time anymore. I truly wish I could. I wish I could. Like, I really wish I could look at it and say, I gotta do this. I gotta do that. But there's no reason to. The game's broken. Community. Somebody was dumb enough to be like, I wish EA bought the WWE license so that they can make these games. You realize if EA like were to buy the rights to make WWE games, that community creations would be gone. Give it about 2 or 3 years, they're taking community creations out. When the fuck did y'all ever look at EA and say, oh my God, they have a great creation suite? Never. You motherfuckers never looked at EA and said, oh my God, they do a great job with customization. Like what? Like what? These motherfuckers got chewed out by their fans for NCAA 26 because there wasn't enough equipment. You had motherfuckers making fun of people for wanting more equipment on players. It's bad enough they AI generated models. Listen, EA or 2K with a WWE game, give me 2K all day. We not about to sit here and do this. We not about we not about to sit here. We not about to sit here and act like this is somehow okay. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not about to. 2K is the best of the slop. Unfortunately, yes. That's true. Unfortunately, that is such a true fucking statement. Like, I can't contest it. I can't deny it. I can't like beat it. I can't say, well, because Call of Duty games, EA games, 2K is literally, I think I said this in relation to something else. 2K has won the beauty competition, but 2K is literally the ugly girl, and the competition is like people with breast cancer that are dying from said breast cancer in front of your face. So you literally have to pick between like a ugly girl with a big ass nose or or like a cancer patient. And at that point, you running a risk. And I don't know if you really want to run that risk. I'm so childish. Like, I'm so fucking childish. But that's what it is, bro. And then motherfuckers wonder, like, why these games stay the same? It's because they've figured out a way to make money. They figured out an enticing way to get money out of people, and it's always gonna be there. That way to nickel and dime a motherfucker out some money is always gonna be there. It's not gonna go away. It's not going to leave us in any stretch of the imagination. It's just going to be there forever. And the reason it's going to be there forever is because they've spent years like just slowly incrementing things and making it work and making it to where, oh, it's not that big of a deal. And people buy it. People buy it. They enjoy it. 2K comes out at like the end of August, early September. By November, motherfuckers are bored of the game because there's nothing to do. Those events, they're not really anything of substance. They're not. They're not anything you would look at and say, oh, well, I need to get on 2K and do that. No. And then, because there's no such thing as a Christmas noob anymore, you get motherfuckers who get on the game, already have like the best build to fucking use. Their parents get them VC for Christmas and the game, and they just get on and it's like an even playing field, unless you one of the motherfuckers that got, I ain't gonna say a lag switch, one of them fucking things that allow you to cheat in the game, because they don't really ban cheaters because they don't know who cheating versus who actually good at the game. And then by January, by February, by March, motherfuckers are not playing 2K as much. Right now, I got a group of niggas. All they play is 2K. But now that we are in March, going into April, MLB has come out. Motherfuckers in moved to MLB. For some reason, Call of Duty has gained enough interest in them after like a year and a half of not playing it. They back on Call of Duty. 2K has died off. And apparently it's supposed to be normal to just sit here in a cycle where you spend 150 on the game, spend 200 on VC, you spend about 100 more on more sets of VC, and then by February, oh bro, I'll just play something else. Apparently that's the cycle that's supposedly so good. I don't know, bro. I don't know how we do it. I don't know why we see it. I know why. It's because we're gamers. And gamers are cucks. Gamers are cucks. They're cucks. That's all they ever are. That's all we ever are. Because don't forget, I now have to, because for years I had to hear this lie that PC gamers don't have to deal with anything. Yet, when Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 came out, and everybody has now started to realize this game is kind of ass in terms of story. Now it's, oh, you just hating me, you don't like this. I'm paying between the prices of 10 to 20 on a game that is just not finished, on a story that's just seemingly, as it goes along, they just add new shit. Wasn't Catnap supposed to be the last obstacle before we got to the prototype? And even with the developer saying, or the former developer saying that the game was supposed to be over in 5 chapters, and sure, you want to have like one more guy that nobody knew about. Why am I going into a fucking playhouse to essentially redo what I was already doing with Mommy Longlegs? From the pointless task to the chase scene. Like, at this point, I just spent $10 on Backyard Baseball. I'm about to just start playing that more. I ain't got to deal with none of you motherfuckers. I'm gonna just go play that. I'm gonna wait for GTA 6, and I'm gonna enjoy my fucking time. Don't look for me. Don't bother me. Don't ask me about insert new game here, because I probably won't play it. No, I have not touched Crimson Desert. No, I don't want to. For no reason other than I just don't want to. I just don't want to. I don't have like this stupid ass reason. No, I wasn't enticed by seeing a motherfucker beat a woman because I'm not cucked socially to where I think that somehow makes everything back. We're back from fighting the culture war, all this gay ass shit. I just hate. I hate. I'm getting old. I'm getting old, bruh. Unc ain't got time to deal with you, deal with the youth no more. Unc just want to kick his feet up, eat some Asian pussy, and just like I literally just want to do what this hoodie doing. Like, I'm at the point where I'm about to buy a PS2. Just about to buy all the old games I had, buy some games I ain't never had on a PS2, hook that shit up to that fucking 60-inch flat screen in the other room, and forget the world exists. I'm this close. I'm this close. I'm this close. But speaking of this close, I told myself I would not make another video about Kyle Basinga unless something substantial came out. And wouldn't you know it, yesterday something substantial came out. Now, I want to remind everybody that this is a story about a young man who, at the time, with all the information made available, took his life. Sad circumstances, sad for a family, sad that somebody thought that the circumstances around his life were so bad that the best course of action was to take his life. For some reason, people decided to dismiss all of that and instead wanted to talk about racial fan fiction. And they said that it's skeptical. The police are hiding information. The police are not telling us anything. Everyone's running around with their own version of events, to the point where you have people reaching out to individuals who are making up these stories and saying, pump the brakes. And those people, after receiving that information from friends or family, are saying, hey, you're invalidating my experience of being a truth seeker because I believe something fishy's going on here, and how dare you critique me? Well, this statement came out yesterday, and I want to read it to everybody. The Cobb County Police Department's investigation into the death of Kyle Basinga is nearing completion. Based on the totality of the evidence, investigators have determined that Basinga was alone at the time of his death, and there is no indication of foul play. Throughout this process, our investigators have worked closely with Mr. Basinga's family to ensure they are informed and supported. The family is aware of the circumstances surrounding his death and has requested privacy as they continue to grieve. Our thoughts are with the Basinga family during this difficult time. At this point, we do not anticipate any additional information that would alter the findings of this investigation. The statement on behalf of Kyle Basinga's family. Our family is deeply grateful for the outpouring of concern, prayers, and support from the community during this incredibly difficult time. I just want to stop right here. The outpouring of concern, prayers, and support, that is the people who have reached out to that family, who have supported that family, who have shared in prayer with that family. That is not you motherfuckers who have run around just making up shit. They're not talking about you. Your compassion has meant more to us than we can fully express. Kyle was a kind, thoughtful, smart young man who loved nature, music, and the people around him. He was deeply loved, and he will be profoundly missed. We are working with local authorities and trust the process that is underway. For clarity, we are not affiliated with or represented by any organization or third party. All official communications from our family will be conveyed through law enforcement. Out of consideration for Kyle and our family's privacy, we will not be discussing specific details related to the case publicly. We respectfully ask the community and the media to allow us the space and privacy needed to grieve and begin our healing process. The Cobb County Police Department, along with the broader senior law enforcement team, has been professional, transparent, and diligent as they continue to work on this case. We encourage everyone to rely on official updates and avoid speculation. Thank you, family of Kyle Basinga. Now, that should be the key for everybody to get back on these same platforms and say, I'm sorry, my bad. It was irresponsible for me to broadcast information without proper verification. It is irresponsible to operate as if I know something when I know nothing. Remember, these same people were trying to craft a story around an interaction Kyle had with police, lying, saying that it happened days or weeks before, when Kyle and all of this circumstances around Kyle came out in 2026. That interaction with law enforcement happened in 2025. So you can imagine the annoyance a family could have with random people making up stories, trying to connect the dots, making it seem like a cop had an interaction with a black kid, and that black kid didn't get on his knees and praise the all-white, powerful God that is nothing but white Jesus. So that white cop crafted a plan, and he crafted a plan to hunt him down, and crafted a plan to wait for him in the woods and find him. They tried that and failed, and have not come back to give an update, circumstance, nothing. They've done nothing in regards to what they claim to care about. Here's what they did. They took a body, and they saw the body go viral even just a little bit, and they danced with the body. They had fun with the body. They had everybody looking and seeing all the great dances they were doing with the body. But then when the body all of a sudden started to stink in a way that didn't match the type of stink they wanted, they threw it away. They threw the body away. It became something where nobody wanted to touch it because, oh, my story that I made up is not true. Well, I'll just move on to the next thing. My story where I just randomly started saying shit, oh, it don't matter. I'll just move on to the next thing. That's the problem here. You have people who pretend to care, doing their best, not really caring at all. And that's my core issue. That's my problem with these type of fucking people, is that when they sit here and they get online and they want to broadcast like they care, they will do everything under the sun to make it seem like they are in lockstep with getting justice, when in reality, they just want some likes on social media. You want the hot take that a bunch of white people celebrate being white by hunting down a black dude. You want the clout of being the first one to say, hey, the only reason this is happening is because we have a society of white supremacy that allows black people to be lied about. Yet, you have no proof to back that up. When you craft that lie, it's now on you to prove it. You can't just say, oh, they're lying about this. Now they need to prove that they're lying about this to me. No. When they're showing family documentation, evidence, proof, communications, everything they need so that that family knows what occurred and how it occurred with their family member, that's it. When you step in front of all of that and say, you're lying, you now have to prove that. But because none of you motherfuckers ever did, the story fell on deaf ears. And now you're going to have like that 1% of people who are like, oh, this just doesn't shit right with me. This doesn't shit right in my show that this could happen to the young man. Yes, because the conversation of mental health is very much a drastic one that a lot of people don't want to talk about because it makes them uncomfortable. And I could imagine hearing a story that makes you uncomfortable, but imagine living it. Imagine for a second living with a whole bunch of bad happening, whether if you want to view it as major or minuscule. To that person, it's major. And you decide the best course of action is to take your life. That is horrible to live with. It's not comparable to having to talk about it, because talking about it means at some point that conversation is going to end. Living with it, you got to live with the fear that it may never end unless you take a step that's a little bit too far. And it pisses me off that it could be something where we look and we talk and we discuss, but instead it's better for the fan fiction. All the fanfic artists then left Wattpad, then went to TikTok, and because the story got a little bit too much and they then got chewed out and called out and criticized, they then ran back to Wattpad to make some gay fan fiction about anime characters. It's pathetic, it's sad, it's embarrassing. And I hope at some point we could have true conversation regarding mental health. We have true conversation about how people are operating, what resources could be put in place, actual conversations, and we listen to people who deal with these things. We don't just dismiss them because, oh, it's uncomfortable. We don't make up fan fiction because that's better than actually addressing the damn problem. We actually get to a point where talking matters more than baseless fan fiction. And to everybody, I drastically hope your mental health is okay. I hope you're doing all right. I hope you living good. Even if you might have a bad day or a bad week, I hope eventually the sun shines bright on you again and you feel that beautifulness that is your life going in a better direction. And for you motherfuckers that sat up here and just made up your own fan fiction, apologize for your lies and then go fuck yourself because you're a piece of shit. And there's not a bruise on my face. This is bad skin. I can't say there's at least 10 people over the course of like the past 4 days who have asked me about this. This is bad skin. I know that we love the idea of Leon getting into a fight, but Leon has not gotten into a fight since 2016. Leon's not getting into another fight because Leon made a promise to himself that if he does, Leon's going to jail. Leon does not like being touched. Thoughts on the ending of Chainsaw Man? I thought it was amazing. You thought that was amazing? You thought that was amazing? You thought that was amazing? Now look, you got the right to that opinion. But wah wah wah. That shit was ass. I think the end of the Chainsaw Man is ass. Just because how they done it. Like just because of how they done it. Like, he apparently loses to a devil. He's in a dream sequence where Pochita kills himself. And then it's just back to business. It's not the worst, but it's just... Are you talking about the manga? The manga. So, because I don't give a fuck, this Pochita kills himself, and for like I think 2 weeks, everybody was like, "Wait, is this a dream? Are they dream sequencing this?" But it's like an alternate universe where Makima is back, but she got a different hair color. It's like all this. Oh, also appreciate the 2 super chats. I was in a mode, so I didn't fucking correlate those 2 things, but I do appreciate those. And people don't know about the backyard games because they're heathens. W major spoilers, bro. That shit is ass. If I'm ranking them from like worst to best, Chainsaw Man is at the bottom. That's the worst one. Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, My Hero Academia. Like, and and y'all, anybody who's heard me say it knows I don't like the My Hero Academia ending. Cause hey, we did all this shit. Buy him a super suit. I hate it. I don't like it. But fuck, compared to the rest of them, that's the best one. Cause it's just cartoonishly bad to where I gotta think that these motherfuckers are we gonna forget that Darling in the Franxx exists? I've never watched or read that. I've never watched Darling in the Franxx. I don't know. Like, I don't know what what the fuck is dark. I feel like if I type in Darling in the Franxx, that's about to be some harem anime. How far you get on K&D on Tubi? I don't have the heart to tell you that every day of March, I've been waiting on Tubi to just release The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, because that was on the list. They promised. We are at the end of March. Yeah, and they got Jimmy fucking Neutron the movie. They got Hoodwinked on here. They got White Chicks on here. They got the Bob's Burger movie. You know what? I'm typing in. It's still not on here, bro. They got 7-star Grandmasters on here. They got All-Star Comedy Jam on here. Like, put Billy and Mandy on here, bro. Like, get it over with, bro. Like, was that not the end of MHA? I thought Deku got a power suit. What did I just say? The nigga definitely got a suit. Like, I just thought that sucked. This motherfucker, quirkless, ended up getting a quirk, ended up being the hero of a fucking generation, ends up being a teacher to teach the next generation. And I ain't gonna lie, if it ended like that, I would have said this shit was great. But they're just like, we could circumvent all of this by just buying motherfucking suits. Anybody could be a fucking hero if we just start buying his suits. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's just, if he would have just ended, it is not bad that he ended up as a teacher teaching the next generation. That is absolutely a good thing. Like, that is absolutely 100% a good thing. I like that. But fuck. We need Dexter's Laboratory. Dexter's Laboratory is already on there. Dexter's Laboratory is on Tubi. What are you talking about? All right. Hey, you know how there's no such hatred other than Christian love? Imagine a guy saying that he prays that God kills somebody.
We're talking about that. And so I say, even in the debate, I think you might have seen it, but that I had on campus the other day, I pray that God kills him. Ultimately, that means killing his heart and raising him up to new life in Christ. That's the first thing.
We want him crucified with Christ.
That's exactly right.
Imagine disagreeing with somebody politically so much that you're praying that God kills somebody, and then you have to backdrop it with, "Oh, I hope he's raised up into a newer light." It's like, So you're begging for someone to die just so that they could think like you. Okay.
I think Saul of Tarsus, Talarico of Tarsus.
Yes,
that's what I want. Who would say, "I was holding the garments while they stoned Stephen, and now I'm the That's what we want.
Yes, we want death and new life.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Well, in the real world, you just die. You just die. That's really much it. You just die. You don't really do too much else. You just die. Now, for everybody on YouTube, you might notice that the title of the stream is like, what did I title it? When grifting goes wrong, some slick shit like that. It's in relation to this guy. Because what have I told you motherfuckers for so long? It's that you might want to slow down being first. You might want to think long and hard about being first, because there may be the circumstance where you end up being right, and it's good. But then there's also the chance you end up being oh so wrong. And when you're wrong, do your best to admit it. But before we get to that, we must go on a journey, because apparently some actor over like the past few days got into a fight with his fucking neighbor. And oh, we have takes from the quartering.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and people are absolutely dragging the star of Reacher, who has been on the record as hating Trump and Trump supporters. We're gonna talk about...
So? Like, who cares? Like, sorry, there are people on this earth who hate Trump and his supporters. Just like how you hate Biden and his supporters. I don't know why we spend too much time throwing stones, then bitch when they're thrown back.
With those comments, and probably isn't the best neighbor, as he got caught on camera absolutely pummeling a guy. And there's a little more to the story, I think, worth talking about. And of course, we have the video that many people have seen, but there is more to this story, a little bit that is getting covered up by mainstream media because, you know, they need clicks and X revenue is a thing. So let's go to the story. By the way, thanks everyone for support.
Ah! It's the shitty coffee.
We're all witnessed by children. Well, that's about as sensational of a title as we could possibly see. The Reacher star, who's 43, appeared to throw multiple punches at an alleged victim in front of two kids on motorbikes, believed to be his sons, in a video obtained by TMZ. In the clip, the 6'3" leading man, who had previously spoken about being diagnosed with bipolar disorder, so of course that excuses all bad behavior, even though they have medicine for that, not that medicine automatically cures it.
Mental health expert
Ronnie Taylor, the one on the receiving end of the beatdown, told the publication that the incident started on Saturday when Richardson was riding his green Kawasaki bike through their quiet upscale neighborhood. Taylor alleged that the entertainer was going at excessive speed as well as revving his engine and disturbing the peace. Now, this I 100% believe. I'm not going to say, you know, hashtag not all motorcycle people, but a lot of motorcycle people seem to have this issue, seem to, you know, not really give a rip about the neighbors. You're going through this quiet neighborhood. I'm guessing maybe he's thinking we'll have some place safe for, you know, my kids or whatever the case may be. A Brentwood, Tennessee Police Department said,
what is, I'm sorry, if it pleases the court, what is unsafe about hearing a motorcycle engine being revved? What about that is unsafe for a child? The only thing would be if that child gets run over after that engine gets revved. But I'm not seeing the unsafe here. Annoying, yes.
There is an active investigation. No arrests have been made, and there will be a police report available when the investigation is concluded. The Daily Mail has also reached out to Richmond's representative for comment and has also not heard back. Now, you see this is a small neighborhood. Now, he is...
I would not know that this is a small neighborhood. All I see is a Ring camera footage. That I have no indication that this is a small neighborhood.
Come out to say that this guy knocked him off his motorcycle not once, but twice before laying the beat down. The neighbor says that he, in fact, did flip Richardson off, and the actor responded in kind. So clearly he was probably annoyed. This guy was ruining his nice, quiet Saturday. You're a multi-millionaire movie star. Maybe you could go somewhere, you know, on your probably expansive property to ride your motorbike safely with your kid, or you could go out on the freeway or on roads that aren't back roads.
Or because he also might live in that neighborhood, he could drive around his own neighborhood.
Taylor then asked Richardson, "Can you effing stop this, please?" when the situation escalated. Now, when I see Richardson, I assume the still going out and fighting with him is definitely a choice. He also claimed that the actor proceeded to fall off his bike. We'll see if he was pushed or fall before getting up and attempting to run him off. Taylor also alleged that Richardson hit him at least 4 times in the back of the head at one point. He said the incident, which was reportedly witnessed by neighbors, left him with bruises and swelling, but he didn't go to the hospital. Law enforcement sources confirmed that TMZ did an investigation. Look, what this probably was is just 2 dudes working it out, right?
That is not. Y'all, do we want to rip the Band-Aid off now? This is not what this was. Like, because this motherfucker, the dude on the bike had the body cam footage to show this is not what that was. It is 2 motherfuckers going at it. Now, I want you to think. Let's think about this. The subject matter is guy on a motorbike, constantly in the neighborhood, just yelling. Just not yelling, but revving his fucking engine. Now, I want you to see how fucked this is for the guy who's not on the motorbike. You step in front of the motherfucker. He then falls off bike. That's ass whooping number 1. That's grounds for ass whooping. You step in front of me and cause me to crash, I'm getting up and swinging.
Are you fucking kidding me, bro?
And then you chest up to him. Like, you chest up to him. Of course you cause a motherfucker to fall off his bike and then you chest up to him. Of course he gonna push you back.
Front of a fucking bike again, dude. We're doing what? You threatened my fucking safety, bro. Are you kidding me? I should not be the fuck out of him. Go ahead, go down. Go down. I've called the BPD. I've called them already because you've been driving
Didn't this neighbor actually admit to attack? Shh, we're getting informative journalism.
I should have run you over, dude. You did? You did?
This is not my background music. I don't know why people do this shit. Like, this doesn't make the video better or worse. It just makes it annoying. He's telling him to move. And so he pushed him off the bike and motherfucker just got to swinging. And I ain't gonna lie, the beats he put on this nigga. Wait, I need the other video. The beats he put on this nigga. It make me not want to step outside the crib for a hot little minute. Like, cause I'm not about to get beaten and show my fucking face in the neighborhood after that one. And that's just me. Like, I tell you like a man, if I get my ass whooped, I gotta go into fucking hiding. I can't do nothing else. Oh, does this show the, oh, it does show the beats. He waffling though. Oh, buddy. And guess what? That's what the fuck he get. You step into traffic, you put your hands on somebody, you chest up to them, of course they gonna swing on you. This ain't no hashing it out between dudes. This is a motherfucker putting a bitch in his place. And quite honestly, if the motherfucker would have been yelling at the kids, and if apparently that's his kids. The dude on the bike, that's his kids. If that motherfucker would have been yelling at them kids, probably would have got the beats put on him worse. And honestly, I don't know why he's still talking. You still talking to this motherfucker after he done put the beats on you? Listen, I'm childish. I would have hit him with the bike. I'm like, I'll tell y'all like a man, I'd have hit him with the bike. It's because I'm grown and too far ahead.
Didn't see any head stomping. He didn't use his helmet to pummel him. He basically told him, hey, back off. And that was kind of the end of it. But you see this in the clip. Richard is seen picking his helmet up off the ground and grabbing his bike after allegedly pummeling Taylor. He then lost control of his bike, which veers onto the lawn. Meanwhile, Taylor is seen picking something off the ground and walking up to Ritson and then away again. The actor then gets on his bike and drives off, followed by the two youngsters. Again, annoying, blasting through the neighborhood. I couldn't help but notice that this neighbor is using a power washer out front. Those are also loud. This is the problem with neighbors, right? This is also a probably multi-million-dollar house I can see. You can see here, Ritson shares 3 sons with his wife, whom he married back in 2016. He's best known for playing Jack Reacher in the
2006. Where are you getting 2016 from? Illiterate.
Prime Video series Reacher, which I think is a fine show. But we've got the video, but also here, let's remember, Reacher star Alan Ritchson faces backlash after her.
Now, I need y'all to understand. This is what it means. Listen, if I don't have a fucking video, I don't make a fucking video. Like, if I have nothing I want to talk about, you notice I have not streamed in almost a week because there was nothing I wanted to talk about. There is nothing I wanted to speak about. Yet, here I am, and we've gone through a lot of shit I wanted to talk about. But this motherfucker needed nothing. He had nothing in terms of this video. Oh, 2 motherfuckers fighting? Whatever. But now the motherfucker just had to bring in Trump. For what? Listen, I don't care if you like Trump. I don't care if you hate Trump. Got nothing to do with this. Trump literally, I mean this in the most basic way possible. Trump got nothing to do with this. So to add him here just means you want to pad the runtime and you want to pad it bad.
There's Trump comments. I'm a Christian, quite simply because of what Jesus calls us to do, Ritson told The Hollywood Reporter. Love other people until death. It doesn't mean we're all to be hung on the cross, but how can I suffer for you? That's a beautiful thing. But Christians have become the most vitriolic tribe, he said. That's not true.
That is true. 10 minutes ago, we listened to a guy say he hopes God kills a man. Hello?
The 41-year-old Muslim added, "It's so antithetical to what Jesus was calling us to be and do. Trump is a R-word and a con man," he said in the interview.
This interview ain't even got nothing to do with the fight. This motherfucker just pulled up. Oh, does this actor support Trump? Wait, I figured it out. He only made this video about this actor because the actor is anti-Trump and the actor was caught doing something. And now he's going to spin it as, oh, you're not some devout person. You beat up your neighbor and you hate Trump. Man, fuck no.
And yet the entire Christian church seems to treat him like he's their poster child, and it's unreal. I don't understand it. Richardson didn't mince words when discussing the Catholic Church either. It's worth noting that the atrocities that are happening in the church that are being actively covered up, even to this day, with people not being held accountable, is repulsive. I can't for 1 second support the Catholic Church while there are still cardinals, bishops, and priests being passed around with known tendencies.
Well, understandable. It's like you wouldn't support like churches that are being run by people who either do or cover up fucking children. Like, hello? Wouldn't anybody recognize that? Okay, I can't support this. I can't be around this. I might just have to go my own way here. It doesn't mean you have to leave the Catholic faith. That might mean you might not step into any of the churches in your area, which is fine because, you know, that would be like a normal reaction. You don't want to affiliate yourself with a group of people that are touching kids or excusing touching kids. Like, hello?
I mean, look, I'm not going to pretend that, you know, the church didn't do this in the past. But for
the past, that's a thing that goes on now. That's not like something you can say, oh, back in the early 2000s or back in the 90s. That still happens now. That's like if somebody said, oh, back in the day, teachers used to do. Teachers fuck kids now. And it's like an everyday thing. I ain't gonna say every day. Every week, you get at least 2 stories about a teacher being arrested for having child porn or having sex with a child. Do you realize that I have not discussed with y'all, or maybe I did, and it was just in passing? There's a teacher who I think a week ago or 2 weeks ago got arrested having sex with a child and offering the child brownies for the body. I'm going to say that again. A teacher bribed a child with brownies in order to penetrate. That wasn't in 2006. It wasn't in 1996. That was in 2026. Don't ever fucking sit here and tell me that something's happened in the past. That don't mean it ain't happening now. You're out of your fucking mind.
for whatever reason, again, it's bad, full stop. But for whatever reason...
No. It's not bad, full stop, but. Because when you say but after saying full stop, you're adding more. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore.
The church didn't do this in the past, but for whatever reason, again, it's bad, full stop. But for whatever reason, you know, if this were happening in, say, a mosque, you know, Alan Richardson probably wouldn't have anything to say about it. If this were happening in...
Which it does. And it needs to be discussed just as much. You can't sit here and be like, oh, but it happens over there.
A Buddhist church or, you know, whatever the case may be, Alan Richardson would almost certainly...
And also, this is like the, why are you always speaking about black people? Oh, well, I'm black. You know why he's speaking about the Christians? It's because he's Christian. He's going to prioritize his group. What is this gimmick that people live and die by, where it's like, you must spend your entire life talking about the people who are different from you, not the people who share the same beliefs as you, because when people who are different from you do bad, that's evil. But when people who think just like you do bad, stop that.
Certainly have nothing to say about it because, you know, Christians are great to be punching bags in, you know, mainstream culture and all sorts of stuff like that. Alan Richardson's vile comments on Trump before Joe Biden met him. So he's a hardcore Democrat.
What does this have to do with beating up a neighbor? What does this have to do? Literally, I shit you not. I can't I don't know how people do this shit. Oh, I do know how, because, you know, I am now a proud member of the casino, so I do know how this gimmick works. Do y'all know that this dude has admitted to being a grifter? Do y'all know that this dude has gone out and said he's never been conservative or MAGA? He's just going with the flow, aka a grifter? This dude is lying. And he's a charlatan. And the only reason it works is because he said this shit on like his live channel where like his main audience isn't seeing that shit. Because if his main audience hears that shit, they're gonna be like, what the fuck? Are we gonna talk about how the Iranians are calling Trump Island Man? That's just sad. That's sad. You wanna know what's funny? The fact that you gotta fucking work with what you have. And the problem with Trump is that we barely have anything. Like, we barely have anything when it comes to Trump. And what I mean by that is, you have this guy who says, hey, we're now working on a deal with Iran after all this time. And then the Iran government is like, no, we not. And so you have journalists asking Trump, who did you speak to? And when this motherfucker says, oh, a very top person, that doesn't give confidence that those gas prices are going to go back down. And what does it say about a bunch of people with money telling you all, like the common man, that when you are paying 80, 60, 50 at the fucking tank now, oh, you just got to weather the storm? Huh? You got a motherfucker telling people, oh, if you're complaining about this, stop going to Starbucks. Huh? Listen, I know we all think that the only people complaining about this are like the nose ring, septum piercing, blue-haired white women. But no, it's across the board. People are having to deal with rising gas prices. Wasn't it interesting that 2 years ago, around this time, coincidentally, apparently the only thing that was of substance to bring up was the cost of eggs, because apparently that was the only thing people were eating? What are we doing? Pepperidge Farm remembers, and that is not how you spell motorcycle. Hello? This is not how you spell motorcycle. How did I? That is not how you spell. Hey Siri, how do you spell motorcycle?
Motorcycle. M-O-T-O-R-C-Y-C-L.
There's not two E's in motorcycle. Oh, fuck me, bro. The Misfit Patriot guy made a video. Yep, I saw that. And 2 seconds into the video, I'm just like, So now we're diminishing the concern about the rising prices of things after him and his ilk bitched about the price of eggs. Okay. Right, righteous, right on, dudes.
You know, and he said last year Richard came under scrutiny from supporters of Donald Trump and the Republican Party after he had a few harsh words for the president. As if it's a cherry on the cake, he recently also posted a bunch of videos with former President Joe Biden calling him a legend. He's still a Hollywood shill. You know, I don't get why Christians love Trump. I mean, again, this is not a great moment. You can see the fact that the neighbors are filming this probably tells you that this guy's not well liked in the neighborhood and was probably rubbing his engine here.
Or, let me throw out a hypothetical. Something's happening outside your window and you're recording it. For example, I may or may not have recorded a boyfriend yelling at his girlfriend recently. Now, why were you recording that, Leon? Because I have a Ring camera attached to my door, and he was yelling at her right outside my door. No, why would I? Fuck, because it's happening outside my door. Hello? Like, why? The baseless speculation fries the fuck out of me.
You can see he's pummeling him while he's on the ground. Not exactly a great move. But he does, in fact, get up and walk away. So there's that. This guy took his licks and said, I don't want any more of this guy. He's stumbling around still. He's still not happy. He's saying like, hey, whoop, oh, wreck your bike. Now, by the way, I don't know who's on this dirt bike here. Not getting involved.
Those are children, you dumbass. You read the article. Those are children.
But I mean, again, this guy's out here using a power washer. Those aren't exactly quiet unless it's electric, which maybe those aren't as loud. He's saying like, hey, you go round and around and around this neighborhood, revving your engines, blah, blah.
First of all, none of this shit is being said, by the way. Like, you're just making up your own thing as you go along. But now, the video after the fact. The video after the fact. Because all it would take, making an 11-minute, 52-second video to bitch that a guy is not a fan of Trump, primarily, and then sprinkle your own fucking devices into it because you're bored. Wait a minute. I know it's easy to dunk on him because he has Trump derangement, but some dude under the run knocked him over. Oh, what a great take. Like, what a great take. What a great take. But no, I don't want to hear about Trump in any category. But now, I want to hear what you have to say after because you wasted everybody's fucking time. What do you got now?
Well. A nice little twist in the research.
There's no twist. It's just patience. Like, there's no twist to the story. You framed it as something else, and then information came out hours later.
Story, as the quote-unquote victim has spoken out in an interview, but also, conveniently, the Hollywood actor has now shared his body cam footage, and it paints a very different picture. This is why we wait. Now, look, I still think Alan Richardson is a TDS-suffering Hollywood liberal elite.
What does that have to do with that? Who gives a fuck? Literally, nobody in... You know what's crazy? The dude did an interview with TMZ, I think. And in the background, there's like this red hat with white lettering, and everybody's thinking that that's a Make America Great Again hat. So, you know, you could say Trump got something to do with it now. But in the realm of what happened, Trump got nothing to do with this shit. Matter of fact, I need to find that. I need to find it just so that everybody knows that's a real thing. That, because when you think about shit in ways that are supposed to matter versus the way they don't, it's like Trump got nothing to do with this. But now motherfuckers are gonna sit there and have the time of their fucking life. They're gonna have the time of their fucking life thinking about this shit. All right, I don't know why they got this fucking crowd. Is there... Can I get like another version that is not like a side-by-side of this? Good God. New charges. Of course there needs to be no fucking charges. Hello? But like right there. Right in the back, people are looking at this red fucking hat.
I did push
and
it.
they're like, is that a Make America Great Again hat? Like, oh my God. Like, Jesus Christ.
Whom I strongly do not like. But at the end of the day, I guess we'll have to decide.
No! We don't have to decide shit! It's over! This is not one of those stories where it's like, oh, there's not enough information. Now everybody just gotta start saying their own shit. No, this is over. This motherfucker stepped into the middle of the road, causing a dude to crash, pushed him, tried to step to him, and got his shit rocked. Like, it's over. You see that guy in the corner of the screen? He's in the wrong. And the guy who's in the full screen trying to make it seem like, oh, well, maybe, he's also wrong.
I guess we'll have to decide who is in the right here. So first we have this interview from the actual guy who looks like he's got some gnarly road rash going on his face. He's got all sorts of interesting stuff going on. Let's get right into it. So here's his interview.
It started on Saturday morning and I'm an experienced motorcycle rider. I've been riding bikes all my life.
By the way, does he sound like he's from Tennessee to you? Not to me, but anyway, I digress.
Because apparently you can't move to this country and live here anymore.
Grass.
So, you know, from dirt bikes to the street bikes and etc. But I'd heard this incestuous revving and speeding through our neighborhood of the motorcycle. I eventually saw the guy on Saturday. I didn't know who it was. And I sort of like flippantly sort of said, "Guy, like he was quite away." I said, "Can you just slow it down, please?"
By the way, he was going 21 miles an hour, which I will reveal in the body cam footage.
And then there are numerous people in my neighborhood who caught all of this on Ring doorbells of him speeding through the neighborhood. And on Sunday, when I was cleaning my bike outside my house, he rode past once, twice, and on the second time, I walked out in front of him and I said, "You've got to stop. Someone's going to get hurt."
Now, I think everyone can relate with the fact.
No, I cannot relate. I cannot relate to stepping in the middle of the road while a guy's on his motorcycle, causing him to crash. Like, sorry, I can't relate to that.
I can understand, having some, again, I know a lot of people like enjoying riding motorcycles. I don't.
Yes, there are people who rev their engines, whether it be on motorbikes, dirt bikes, cars. You know what I will not do? Step in front of that while they're coming towards me. Whether if they're 20 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour, I will not step in front of that. That is dumb. That creates a risk, not just for the person driving, but the person who wants to get in front of that.
I don't have a problem with them. I live in Wisconsin. Harleys are a constant noise pollutant everywhere I go. I don't care. It's cool. You like riding the bike? Cool. But if you're outside...
Leon, the TSA line was insane. They said ICE was supposed to make it quicker. Oh, didn't you see the new propaganda? Oh, it's all gone now.
I try to enjoy a night.
So now this topic will cease to exist because untrained ICE agents are now untrained TSA agents. And I guess the spin is, since the airport's so empty, that means everybody was being sex trafficked. Or, just throw out a hypothetical. And this is just a hypothetical. It's an honest hypothetical. It was spring break for a lot of people.
Nice day. And you have the same guy driving and driving and driving and driving. And then you hear, if you know these bikes, like, they're super loud. They're super, especially when they're like revving and things like that. Eventually you're going to get sick of it. At least the guy didn't lie.
And it escalated quite quickly from there. I did push him because he was coming towards me on his bike. He did it again for a second time. I pushed him a second time.
No, you jumped in front of him.
I think the second time he got off his bike and it kicked the crap out of me.
Okay. Two dudes handling their business.
No, that's not what this is. It's a guy thinking he was bigger than a program and he got his ass whooped. That's not two dudes handling business. That's one dude getting his ass whooped.
Right, but wait, we've got the body cam footage too. But at least he didn't say oh, and he brutally. He did kick the crap out of you.
You can see he hit me in the back of my head. I went to the ground and covered myself. I've had such a shitty day today, and I don't wish the guy any malice or ill will, but we just don't need people riding through neighborhoods like this. And I just decided, I'm taking a stand because someone else has to.
By the way, I think that might be a "Make America Great Again" hat. It looks like that's a "Make America Great Again" hat. He may be a Trump voter.
It's going to end up way worse than it could.
We need to kill him.
I need y'all to understand that 5 minutes ago, this motherfucker was just like, fuck this dude. Let me make you not care about this actor getting into this altercation. Let me make you side with the other guy because the actor's not a fan of Trump. And in this video, this motherfucker threw in a jab that this motherfucker might not be of American descent. And now has done a complete 180 because he sees what looks like to be a "Make America Great Again" hat. Everybody's struggling. This is why I will continue to say all of your politics suck across the board. Because if this is what gets y'all excited, a fucking hat or a shirt or a pin, your politics suck.
Good. Now, let's get right into this video, which shows the actual Alan Richardson. So obviously this came from Alan. There's no other way that this video could exist. So here, the motorcycle revving. You can see he's going 19 miles an hour right here. So I assume it might be 15 mile an hour zone, maybe even 25. I wouldn't say that he's blasting through there at a high rate of speed. Okay, again, Alan Richmond has TDS. He says all Christians shouldn't like Trump.
What is that? This is the fucking MAGA hat, the Trump hatred got nothing to do with this shit. It don't. Am I going nuts? It has nothing to do with this shit. Like nothing. It has nothing to do with this shit. It plays no part. It has no bearing in this shit.
I don't care for that. But let's see how the altercation actually broke down.
Like, who gives a fuck what you care about? It doesn't matter.
So the guy dove in front of his motorcycle. Okay. Now you're impeding his movement. This is a situation that I don't care if you are Jack Reacher. Probably not. You know, you're thinking about your own safety. What if this guy's armed? What is he going to do? And you see here, he pushed him off his bike right there. You can see that. You can see he stops him and he shoves him right there. And the bike goes down. So this guy, again, I've got to be honest. While Alan Richardson may have been being a douchebag, which
we have no fucking course of evidence to prove any of that. All we have is footage of a dude getting his ass whooped and the fucking helmet cam, body cam of this motherfucker pushing him off a bike. There is no way to make him look good. He's a dumbass.
is entirely possible, okay? Entirely possible. This guy walked out into the street and physically accosted him first. That's what happened.
Are you fucking kidding me, bro?
He said, "Are you effing kidding me, bro?" Then he shoved him. But this guy very clearly shoved him first. And, you know, he's like, "Are you kidding me?" He said, "Never get in front of an effing bike again, dude." And I don't disagree with that. Like, if you have a problem with the noise, call the cops. The cops will go up and tell them to take it to another neighborhood. That's you know, it works. Close the pool, so to speak.
You threatened my fucking safety, bro.
And he did. He said, "You threatened my safety, bro." And he did. You can't jump out in front of the motorcycle. Like, that's crazy. If you have a problem with the noise, call the cops and say, "Hey, there's this guy. He's got 2 other bikes with him. He's driving at a high rate of speed. And I think it's dangerous." Which, by the way, he was driving 20.
And he wasn't. So now you're just implying that you should just call the cops and lie for the fuck of it, just because you're annoyed that you hear something. Oh, this dude sucks. Oh my god, this dude sucks. Oh, my head hurt now. My head hurt. My head hurts. My fucking head hurts. And the reason my head hurts is because I had to watch a dude jump through hoops to try to explain one way versus another way at the same fucking time, trying to make it seem as if all of this only matters because of who either does or doesn't support Trump. And it's just like, fuck you, dude. Just talk about the video in and of itself. You ain't gotta do shit else. You literally don't have to do shit else. Just talk about how, oh my god, this actor got into a fight with his neighbor. Oh wait, the neighbor jumped in front of a fucking motorbike. But no, we gotta fucking pad this shit out as best we can. Cause we pad it out as best we can, we could fucking stomach it all. Like we could stomach it all. We could do it all. Dude wants Alan arrested for the crime of pushing a Trump supporter. Let me read that again. Dude wants Alan arrested for the crime of pushing a Trump supporter that he did not know at the time was a Trump supporter. Nobody knew. Nobody gave a fuck. Even worse than that, the motherfucker tried to characterize Alan Richardson as a bad guy because he said he doesn't like Trump or Trump supporters. Unc ready for his nap? Yep. But I got like 2 more things I want to, well, 3. Yeah, 3. Because I want to paint a scenario for you all. Imagine you kill a kid and imagine you kill a kid and then spit at his family. Like, said the judge. Wait, the judge cleared him of all charges, huh? Wait. Hold up now. Cody Rowlandson is accused of a hit-and-run death of Jordan Hill, walked away a free man on January 15th. And one of his last actions before being found not guilty was spitting at the victim's family.
This is for Jordan Hill. Anything to say to the family? Oh, you spit? Yeah. I'm going to see who's going to spit on you when you go to jail. Justice for Jordan. You racist fuck. Justice for Jordan. Wow. Justice for...
Now, I don't mean to be that guy. I don't necessarily know what's racist about spitting at somebody. It's disrespectful as all fuck. Especially given the circumstances that, you know, you killed the family member. I find that to be drastically disrespectful.
Jordan, he spit at the family.
He just spit.
There's no remorse.
He just spit.
And he drove his truck up here on a suspended license. Justice for Jordan. You remember, you have a daughter. You better think about it.
That's
Justice for Jordan.
not the
This
daughter.
is his man, said the Lord. Justice for Jordan. Justice for Jordan.
All right. Rollinson ran over the young boy with his pickup truck and left him at the crash. Okay. Where he died from his injuries on the afternoon of April 6, 2025. Hill had been riding an ATV in the grassy area on the side of the road out of the way of traffic, according to a family spokesperson. Rollinson faced charges of aggravated DUI and felony fleeing without rendering aid and was released on a $41,000 bond. According to news reports, Rollinson's claim he left claims he left Hill at the scene because he didn't have cell service to call 911 at the crash site. After a jury deliberated for about an hour, he was cleared of both charges. Wanda Brown, the mother of the victim, told WLBT3 that she's crushed in an on-camera interview. Shocked. I was shocked because you have all this evidence, facts, and it still was found not guilty. The unexpected verdict has shaken Brown's faith in the local justice system. Oh, sweetheart. You should never have faith in that local justice system. By the way, because it was brought up, where's Black Lives Matter? According to Change.org, petition circulated by a friend of the family, there are allegedly no skid marks on the road to show that Rollinson even slowed down, and a family spokesperson, Bridges, said something more sinister was at play, characterizing Hill's death as a hate crime, not an accident. Oh my God. I see, you lost a family member. And it seems like this is horrible to say, all roads lead to that man being the one who's responsible. But let's not go that far unless we got evidence to back that up. Oh, we need way more than that. 2,000 signatures, we need way more than that. That ain't gonna be enough. That I'm sorry, but that ain't gonna be enough. How was he found not guilty? That's a really good question. What went into the court proceedings to make these motherfuckers say that? Like, nah, I'm interested. Texas dad mistook black Amazon manager for kidnapper, shot him and left him to die? Huh? What the fuck is going on here? See? Y'all wouldn't know about half the shit. Fuck half. You wouldn't know about 85% of the shit going on in local areas if it wasn't for me. There's so much like obtuse, odd shit going on. Black Pennsylvanian woman sues bank after it wrongfully accused her of fraud and allegedly caused her booming car dealership to collapse. Oh my, okay. Who was on the jury? Fuck, a collection of his peers, I guess. Fuck, this TikTok psychic should have had these people on that jury. Oh, fuck, bro. I don't know. Do I want to talk about the child care worker who has an attraction to children, or do I want to talk about this? It's like either or. It's like literally it's either or. Well, since I already got it on the screen, back in 2024, you had an incident between a 13-year-old student who's autistic and this woman on the screen, where apparently a fight broke out and they're trying to phone in a bunch of people to help because they're autistic kids and there's protocol on how to deal with it. And this principal shows up on the scene and gets chairs thrown at her and also gets a coat hanger thrown at her that gets her in the eye, which causes her to lose sight in her eye permanently. Well, recently, the kid who threw it got 13 years in juvenile, and he's gonna spend that time in juvenile. And of all the takes one could have about the right amount of punishment, what's a good length of time, you have the mother who's going about drawing attention toward this online and how she's choosing to go about it.
Hi guys, I am reaching back out in regards to all the comments that I had over the weekend, since I was taking a mental health weekend to kind of regain and reflect myself, because this is very mentally and physically exhausting, to advocate for my son in a cause.
Hold on. Let's just go back to the beginning. We put Big Daddy on the screen. We like Big Daddy.
Hi guys, I am reaching back out in regards to all the comments that I had over the weekend, since I was taking a mental health weekend to kind of regain and reflect myself, because this is very mentally and physically exhausting, to advocate for my son in a cause. Most of people hear the one sentence about my son's case, and they think they understand what happened, or they think they know what happened.
Well, the way it's set up is that your son got into a fight, they called people to help, and when one person showed up, started throwing chairs and coat hangers and blinded his principal. Like that seems to be how one side of events plays it out, but go ahead, let me know.
Feed false information. They just take bits and pieces of little things that they've heard happen, which in fact they don't know the full story. So I'm going to give you a little bit of insight on what occurred that day.
Okay.
At the time of the incident, Abel was 11 years old in a special education classroom with an active IEP and behavioral intervention plan.
Okay.
These are legal binding documents under the federal disability law. These documents are created by myself and the special education committee, which forms an ARD, and we go over everything to place in this for safety for everyone.
That's good.
Abel has this plan in place that requires staff to do specific things when he becomes overwhelmed. There's numerous things in.
Well, there's a difference between overwhelmed and getting into a fight. Because, you know, I could understand that for autistic children, there will be moments where they will be overwhelmed. But unless there's something written specifically in there on what to do with a fight, I don't think you could compare being overwhelmed to being in a fight.
The bit, but there's a couple of main ones that really trigger to the event that happened. Some of those are giving him space, avoiding a power struggle. Yes, we know you're the adult, but take a step back.
Wait a minute, wait, stop. Now, what are we talking about taking a step back? Because when they call a principal, or when they call people to help out, and the principal like walks in the room, and then the motherfucker getting chairs thrown at him, well, shit, what could they do at that point? What could be done to help out in that manner? Because it's clear that they taking that step back. It's clear. But then they did it in their eye.
Allow them cool off time. Use protective barriers if objects are thrown. That's a big one. These support exists for one reason, to prevent a child in distress from escalating. But what happened next is why my 12-year-old is now facing 13 years in TJJD, and it all started inside of a special education classroom. People keep asking, what did Abel actually do? Here's what happened. On August 15th of 2024, Abel became overstimulated with another child in the classroom. While in this classroom, he had a sensory overload that continued to build with another special needs student in the classroom. A book was thrown, yes, and we do not condone throwing of objects.
You just went for like 30 seconds talking about how, hey, if something gets thrown, hey, move out the way.
The classroom was cleared out like protocols require. The teacher was doing everything right. She did call for an AP or security to come down and help her de-escalate if needed.
Okay.
After the room was cleared out and the teacher stepped back in after all the kids had been moved to the hallway, Abel was sitting down in the middle of the classroom, and he had started drinking his bottle of water, which was a documented coping strategy that usually gave him a period to calm down by giving him the space. But instead of giving him the space, as soon as the assistant principal walked in, she moved into close proximity. Abel stood up and moved away and verbally asked for space. He warned that if they kept moving closer that he was going to throw a chair to make them back up. But
please, for my own sanity, please do not try to pin this on a principal for having limited information about what's going on, deciding, hey, I'm going to go in there, try to figure out what's going on, like a principal would, and without recognizing what's really going on, walking towards student, and student just starts chucking shit, and you got put in this circumstance because you didn't pay attention to protocol. I'm sorry. That's not how this should go. Because while you have these guidelines put in place to make sure that your child ends up in scenarios that are safe for him and also for the other people, we can't distract from needing to step in to figure out how a fight breaks out between two special needs students. And in the process of trying to find that out, chairs start getting thrown, and a woman's eye is now completely useless because of a coat hanger.
Instead of backing up, he was backed into a cubicle, and the situation just kept escalating from there due to a power struggle. Here's the part that most of you haven't heard yet.
Okay.
When the larger objects were no longer available because the assistant principal would not give him enough space, it kept sending him into a huge stressor. So Abel started throwing smaller items, which included like a jacket, a book, a couple of other things. But the one thing that was in the classroom that we have yet to get an answer as to why it was an ABU classroom, a special education classroom, was a coat hanger. So with the chairs that had been thrown across the room, had slid across the room, in whatever form and fashion they were distraught in the room, this assistant principal had a chair in her hand and was deflecting all of the different things that were being thrown.
I mean, wouldn't that also be a good thing? Because who among us wants to have a chair just thrown at them? I don't care if it's a small chair or one of them blue chairs that you could just pick up and fling. Nobody wants a chair thrown at them. And also, you know, if a coat hanger's in the room, that would imply that maybe somebody's jacket is in the room. A sweatshirt, hoodie, something.
Which, might I add, they're supposed to use the pads and special protection when this is happening. As in the video of the day of the event, the actual teacher is setting all of this up for the assistant principal to use. Instead, she uses a chair to block the hanger. The hanger was not directly thrown at her, but in the direction of her to...
So it wasn't thrown at her, but it was thrown at her direction, which means that it was thrown at her!
request more space, to push back. The assistant principal hit the hanger with the chair, and the hanger ricocheted off the chair and struck her in the eye. Abel never said he wanted to hurt anybody. And there is something that people need to know about autistic meltdowns. When children with autism, with DMD, they enter a fight or flight mode, and their brain can regress developmental. At 11 years old, Abel's functioning during a meltdown can resemble a 5 or a 6-year-old. That is a neurological crisis, not a calculated intent. Yet Abel was still charged with assault causing bodily injury, which requires intent to cause serious harm. But no evidence showed that. Evidence showed that Abel repeatedly requested distance, the attempt to retreat backwards, throwing objects to regain his distance between him and the assistant principal.
See, that right there, that's the part where you lose me on. Because you're throwing things at said individuals, which will imply the intent that you're throwing them to cause harm. Even if, you got it all written down that he'll do these things to back them all up, to get them away, they're not really going to look at that and say, oh, he's doing that as a defense mechanism, especially when you have a woman who's been blinded because of someone throwing things at her.
And an injury caused of ricochet of deflection. Intent was never proven. We don't understand why this happened that day. In deep thought, this was a 1 in a million freak accident that happened. But in all reality, if the behavioral intervention plan was followed, this incident would have never occurred.
So now we got to it. You wouldn't, ma'am, who's now lost sight in her eye, who can't function at 100% anymore. It's your fault because my guidelines that we've all signed and documented, you didn't follow. You are at fault because you just didn't allow someone to throw things at you, which I don't really trust would be something that anyone would allow even in protocol. There should be ways to navigate these things proper. But shit get thrown out the window when things start getting thrown. And when you have people with limited information as to why people are getting into a fight, of course they're going to go in and wonder how things started, who escalated what, so that they could go about proper consequences to give out. When you have somebody in there throwing things, a lot of the protocols going out the window. And to get on social media and tell people that your son is facing 13 years, of course people are going to want to stick with you and support you, but then there are going to be other people, like me, who will say, now hold on, you can't necessarily expect me to have sympathy for you and your son when you are putting all the fault on somebody losing their eye, not on your son who threw something, but on somebody who's walking into the room and getting things thrown at her.
If they would have just let him stay sitting in the middle of the classroom drinking a bottle of water, since the incident before the principal walked in had already been de-escalated, this wouldn't have happened. A lot of you badmouth and bash our parenting, but what you don't know is we've been very proactive. We have...
I'm not really bashing your parenting. I would like to trust that you spend dedicated time navigating how to deal with your autistic son, whether it be in private or in public. I would trust that you know how to do that. My issue here is you pinning the blame on what happened to a woman's eye on said woman and not broadcasting and demonstrating the full story in scope in letting people know, hey, all of this happened from point A to point Z. But instead, you went from point A to point F.
Taken Abel to the doctor. We have done everything that we need to do since he was 3 years old. We've placed him in inpatient treatment. We've gone to residential treatment facilities. We have given him all the care and need that he wants. This has nothing to do with bad parenting. We advocate and we're very involved in all of Abel's care, including the school.
Good.
During testimony in the courtroom, it was testified that I never miss a meeting. I never miss anything. The school knows that I'm very involved. With all this being said, I just want to let you know Abel's side of the story. The situation had been de-escalated. He was sitting in the middle of a classroom. His space was invaded. His stress level got super high, in which set him in a fight or flight mode.
So wait a minute. Okay, so let me see if I got this right. Kid gets into a fight. It's been de-escalated. They've cleared the room out. This is the most cartoonish way to depict this. This kid is now sitting in the middle of the classroom, sucking on a water bottle. Hopefully it isn't Dasani. And the principal comes in, because in any school, once they get wind of a fight, they're going to come in there to try to figure out what happened and who's going to get the phone call to their parents first for starting the fight. And the kid just starts hurling chairs because, as you put it, his space was violated. Well, I'm sorry to burst the bubble, but your kid got into a fight, which is going to lead to somebody getting a consequence brought upon them. Detention, a suspension, maybe depending on the circumstances of it, being expelled. And that would require finding out what happened, which will then lead to a phone call to you or the other kid's parents in saying, hey, your kid started a fight, come down here and you about to find out what's about to happen to your son. But we couldn't get to that process as quick as we wanted because your son decided, fuck it, whack-a-mole.
So he started throwing things. The assistant principal used an unauthorized object, i.e. the chair, to deflect things.
To defend herself from things being thrown at her.
That were being thrown, in which the deflection caused the ricochet, which caused the injury. There was no intent. Abel's not a monster. Abel doesn't deserve 13 years. We do not condone the throwing of things, but we also don't condone injustice from Navarra County.
Well, the justice system is often something that doesn't net out the best circumstances. And I'm going to be honest, 13 years, I'm going to say that's a little bit too much. I'm going to say, considering how I've also seen autistic teenagers beat the ever-loving shit out of their teachers for taking their Nintendo Switches, I'm going to say 13 years for this is too much. But he got the 13 years, and so here's your response to that, because I could already tell you're doing such a great job.
Hi guys, I am reaching out today because we've had a lot of disgusting and negative comments towards Abel's story. Yes, I have turned off commenting on the older posts that we have made, just because there's no sense in some of the comments that have been posted, as well as the mass majority are not educated.
Mass majority?
Within the things that we're talking about. I also want to thank everyone that has supported us. That's greatly appreciated, that you have looked at the entire picture instead of the little clips and things that have been seen everywhere. Again, like I've told everybody, there are two sides of the story, and Ms. Rogers tells hers, and we waited 18 months to give our side of the story. With that being said, I've literally been writing all of my thoughts down. I want to make it clear, Abel's not a violent kid. the way that everybody is portraying him. He struggles with behaviors, but those are directly tied to his disabilities and how he processes situations, especially when he comes overwhelmed, which is why supports like the behavioral intervention plan is so important, because they're meant to prevent escalations. I also want to touch on the fact that a true finding of delinquent conduct does not automatically sorry guys, I do not feel good today, does not automatically mean that a child fully understands the intent and the consequences like an adult would, especially in high stress situations. With reactions that can be driven by impulse, overwhelmness, dysregulations. And again, while it doesn't make what happened okay, it makes the situation more complex than simply just saying he knew better. For prime example, Abel has no time or day perception. So when the sentencing came down that he would serve 100 days in a detention center and then 13 years in TJJD, Abel's understanding of that was that the 100 days in detention would align with his 13th birthday, that goes to show you how differently he understands and processes these consequences. But also on that point of the trial in court, if the court would have allowed the jury to hear the expert testimony regarding his behavioral intervention plan and the mental diagnosis definitions, instead of removing the jury and sustaining the objections, there would have been a more complex picture for a fair verdict. Rather than forcing this entirety on the severity of the injury instead of factors which led up to it. We have taken responsibility. We have sought help past and present, and on our own account, in our own time. After the incident happened, we did place him in a residential treatment facility in which he did complete and then was released back home. We have done everything that we can to address his every need. We do not use his diagnosis as an excuse or condone his actions.
You literally have done that. You used it as a means to chastise the woman who has lost her eyesight. You used that as a backdrop. You sat there and said, hey, well, if you would have known how to actually defend yourself against an autistic kid wigging out, oh, you wouldn't have your... You did that. You did that.
Oh, we are truly and deeply sorry that Ms. Rogers for what she went through and for the pain and trauma this incident has caused. My heart as a mother generally goes out to her. Ms. Rogers, I am deeply sorry that this has happened.
Yes.
This is not anything to do with victim blaming. As many of you said, this is not a personal attack on Ms. Rogers, but it does raise serious concerns about failures to follow his behavior intervention plan.
Motherfucker, you doing it again. You just said a second ago that this is not about this, it's about that. You just sat there and said you're not using it as an excuse. You just did it again. I'm sorry, but people follow the rules. You documented all the things about your son. Your son gets into a fight. They trying to figure out how this all escalated so that they could probably navigate who to call, who's facing the consequence, who's being separated, all of it. And in the process of that, a teacher is getting things thrown, a principal is getting things thrown at her, which then leads to her losing her eyesight. And you are making it out to be, hey, well, if you would have just followed proper protocol instead of defending yourself from things getting thrown at you, oh, you wouldn't lose your eye. You're doing the thing. You're doing it right now. And that is making people look at you and say, what the fuck? You don't know how to raise your kid. What the fuck? You don't know what you're doing. And it might be a bad criticism to throw at you. But when you are sitting here doing the thing that's making people criticize you, it's your own fault. It's your own circumstance that you put yourself in. Because all you got to do at this point, well, not at this point, because now your son is in juvie for 13 years. What you would have had to do at the point in time is collect all information and hope that you could bring all of that to court and maybe the justice system would treat you fair. But instead, you're prioritizing for some reason getting on social media and trying to, at the same time, while saying, oh, well, my heart goes out to you, principal, this, another. But if you would have followed these protocols, you wouldn't have had this problem. No, I'm sorry, but that's not how this is going to work.
in the broader issue of schools being underfunded and unprepared and trained to support children with disabilities.
And you know what's crazy? The principal agrees with you that there needs to be more done to help in the realm of finances towards autistic kids. But in the grander scheme, that comes down to money. And motherfuckers ain't about to give up the money to help public schools. Like, sorry, it's not gonna happen.
Many of you have criticized our parenting. You said we didn't take accountability. That's simply not true. Many of you have criticized our parenting. You said we didn't take accountability. That's simply not true.
Okay, I just had to make sure. Ma'am, when I think to myself what accountability looks like, it's difficult and people will have to tiptoe around it. And I can understand why people would have to tiptoe around it, because you're dealing with an autistic child. Here's what you do. When you're the one that does the bump and grind to create said life, and then you go and do all the checks with the hospital and you find out the kid is autistic, you then navigate life in making sure that the kid is all right in private and in public, and making sure that there's really no problems. And even still, you're gonna run into those problems. And then you run into the problem, which is your child getting into a fight, and now you find out when you get to the school that he's also blinded a teacher or a principal in her eye. You don't then go, oh, well, did she follow protocol? Because that's not taking the accountability of what your son did. That's looking at what your son did and then looking over there and be like, did you follow protocol? Because, you know, if you follow protocol, he wouldn't be throwing things at you and you wouldn't be having to defend yourself. That's not holding accountability in the highest of regards. That's trying to find a way to shift a little bit of the blame somewhere else.
You don't know what steps that we have taken. You don't know the progress that he's made over the years.
It's all out the window.
With the right medication, the right support, the right therapies, he's come a long, long way.
Proud of him, but oh my God, he kind of pissed it away.
And again, as for accepting responsibility, we went to trial. We accepted the responsibility.
But you again, this is like the fifth time, have decided it would be in your best interest to chastise the principal for not following protocol.
What we are asking for is not for him to avoid consequences, but to make it very, very clear. We're not asking for him to escape accountability or responsibility in any way. We're asking for a reasonable, fair sentencing.
You're not gonna get that. Sorry, that, and that's not even your fault. That's the justice system. The justice system is a fucked up thing that allowed a person who deserves 75 years for violating 2 teenage girls get community service. I'm sorry to burst anybody's bubble, but you're running a gamble with the justice system. Whether it be local, it be in another state, it be at the federal level. You are running a gauntlet. You are running the gamble of trust in the justice system to give you a fair shake, whether it be a fair consequence or justice for some atrocity done to you. You are running that. And, you know, you might walk out getting everything you want. You might walk out getting something you don't want, whether that be a harsher sentence or somebody walking scot-free. You're running that risk all the time. And to expect or to hope that you could potentially get something just outright, foolish.
Facility that is better
Not in my America.
Equipped for children with mental and developmental disabilities, not a prison environment. Because placing him in that type of environment does not fix the problem, it only makes it worse. We are just asking for him to be provided care, treatment, and support that he truly needs. My biggest thing, with all the ugly, rude comments, you're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to express the way you feel. But that
I don't condone like anybody like sending threats in any regard or like anything in regards to anything that goes over the line. Critique what has gone on, but once you take it that weird step further, and we all know the weird step further, it just crosses a line.
That isn't going to hinder me from being my son's voice and for advocating for him in this situation. Also, I want to let you all know, this has nothing to do with race, so please stop trying to use the race card.
I didn't think about it in a racial aspect. Now, somebody out there probably has, but just because it's a white autistic kid and the person who's lost their eyesight is a black woman, while, of course, there will always be somebody making it about race, this wasn't a situation where he saw a black lady who was just like, oh, black, and just started throwing chairs.
We are a middle-class, working, biracial family. So this has nothing to do with race. It has everything to do with the system that has failed a disabled child.
Sure.
Not only in the educational system.
I don't know why. If it ain't got nothing to do with race, don't mention that your family's biracial. Like, just leave that out.
But as well as the judicial system. Again, guys, those who have supported us, we appreciate everything. All your good thoughts, all your outlooks, all your experiences as well. Parents of disabled children. This is not only for ABLE's advocacy, this is for your child too. This is hard.
She got herpes, because what is this on her lip?
This has taken a very big mental toll on me, but guess what? I'm going to keep advocating. So you can keep posting negatively. And I just won't respond anymore.
I'm sorry.
And those of you who comment positively, I try to respond to every message that comes across.
I'm sorry. It's just, I saw it the whole time, bro. I'm sorry. Wanting better care towards your child in a situation is fine. But when your child does something that warrants people figuring out what took place, it has to be looked at. It has to be reviewed. People got to get the story and how it started and who threw the first punch and whatnot. But in the middle of all that, when you got somebody throwing a chair, it throws it out the window. It throws the potential of people getting things done orderly out. And now you got somebody who in the moment is getting things thrown at them. She don't know what to fucking do. So she just grabbed the first thing just to defend herself, and it ends up with her eye now being useless to her. Of course, people are gonna look at that and be like, all right, Buddy's gotta face some type of a consequence. I'll be honest, the 13 years, kind of nuts. But in that span, he's gonna have to get some form of treatment or medication while he's sitting in there. And maybe they'll fight for that to get it shortened over time. Maybe they'll get it appealed so when maybe he walks out scot-free. Maybe they could hopefully get the principal who has forgiven the kid to hopefully advocate for him to be released early. Maybe. But what we can't do in the midst of trying to seek advocacy is throw in these little jabs that make it seem like you're blaming the person who lost their eye. And that is what's garnered all this criticism towards you. That is what's garnered a negative reaction towards you. Do I think it's racial? No. But when we're sitting here talking about why people are not caring or why people are saying it's justified he got this sentence, and then they see you sitting there saying, oh, well, if you would have did this, this wouldn't have happened, that's going to leave a bitter taste in people's mouths. So good luck in the efforts of trying to free your son or getting the sentence shortened. But next time, just PR advice. Don't try to do it while blaming other people, because that's always gonna go over terribly. Yeesh. 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 Good God in heaven. Good God in heaven, bruv. It was just bad willy-nilly biscuits and whiskers all around. I don't know if I have the heart to listen to somebody who worked at a child care facility talk about how they like kids. Like, I don't know if I got it in my heart. I don't know. Do I? Yes, I do.
It's gonna be triggering for people.
I'm gonna stomach this. Mind you all, strike one off the bat. Like, strike one, because I shouldn't have to know about this.
It will. Okay. Alright. So, there's something about my past, my journey, that I'm not necessarily like secretive about. Everyone in my life knows about it because I'm compulsively honest and open, and yeah. But I know that like saying it publicly is going to be like backlash, and I'm like, that's only because people don't understand. And I'm like, well, I can explain from my perspective, and some people are going to get it and some people are not. Some people are going to look for reasons to hate when it's not really necessary. But that's just what people do, and it depends on what part of their journey they're at, I suppose. It depends on what they've personally gone through. And
lip ring theory. No. It's nose ring theory. You're not doing that. And listen, I saw a horrible take about like strip clubs from a woman who has like a nose ring. And it's just like, oh my God.
And what wounds they haven't healed yet. And I know that other people's response to things isn't about me. It's about them and what.
I'm looking at something on my phone, and it's troubling. It's troubling just because of how stupid it is. And I don't mean to distract from what we're currently discussing.
What is your...
I don't mean to distract from what we're currently discussing. I don't, honestly. Truthfully, I don't. But black people would have got to anime first if it wasn't for slavery. Okay, that's the most dramatic way to look at things, given the fact that, you know, that's specifically Japanese media. But, you know, I'm gonna let them cook.
What is your spiciest anime hot take? You're safe to say whatever you feel like. I am here.
Black people would have got to anime first if it wasn't for slavery.
This is big facts.
This is not big facts for several reasons. Ignoring that this is Japanese media specifically. This is Japanese media specifically. That is not big facts. I live in the most depressing timeline.
Can't deny that.
You absolutely can deny that for several reasons that if I just sit here and explain basically, somehow I'm hating. Like, okay, whatever. Back to this.
About it. Because I'm compulsively honest. But I know that, like, saying it publicly, there's going to be, like, backlash. And I'm like, that's only because people don't understand. And I'm like, well, I can explain from my perspective. And some people are going to get it, and some people are not. Some people are going to look for reasons to hate, and that's not really necessary. But that's just what people do. And it depends on what part of their journey they're at, I suppose. It depends on what they've personally gone through and what wounds they haven't healed yet. And I know that other people's response to things.
Hey everybody. And I'm only doing this and I'm only watching this because, like, the subject matter around it. I haven't watched this video. Hey everybody, if you hate people who are attracted to children, you're just not on the right plane of your journey yet.
Things isn't about me. It's about them and what they're going through. So I'm gonna try not to let, like, fear of being misunderstood by random people that I don't even know stop me from being honest and telling my story. So here goes, I guess. So, controversial topic. Pedophiles. So when you hear that word, if your mind automatically jumps to sex offender, child sex offender, that is not the same thing.
Strike 2 and 3. Ladies and gentlemen, I got nothing. I got nothing else. I'm done. I got nothing. I got nothing. I've done all that I wanted to talk about. I've done all that I wanted to talk about. What is existing in this world that could garner my attention? I want to keep streaming, but I'm not just about to stream about shit I don't care about. Valid reason to say goodbye. I mean, Cortland Sutton, few good years left. I don't want to. Okay, so there's this woman that posted a TikTok about the Broncos and how she doesn't have trust in Jalen Waddle doing enough to change the dynamic of the Broncos offense. And I 100% agree with that shit, because adding one wide receiver does not negate the mountain of issues that I saw on that fucking offense. And it's just like, I want to believe in my team, but when I got to factor in, when I have to factor in that Sean Payton is a fucking fool, do you realize in about 4 years. It will have been 20 years since Sean Payton last won a Super Bowl, his only Super Bowl, for the New Orleans Saints, where in that game he decided to kick off the second half with an onside kick, which somehow is the most memorable moment from that Super Bowl and not the Tracy Porter pick six that sealed the Super Bowl. Since then, Sean Payton has not gotten back to the Super Bowl one time. You could bore me by telling me about the pass interference call, but then I'll raise you the several games against Tom Brady that you choked, the Seahawks game, and the Vikings owning you twice. The problem here is that Sean Payton has rode a wave for almost 20 years. That's cool in New Orleans. They'll let him slide in New Orleans because he got him a Super Bowl. But when you go to Denver and you fuck the whole Russell Wilson thing. When you go to Denver and you have Bo Nix, who gets you to the playoffs in his first year, you know, bumpy road, but you get there. You get beat out the wild card, whatever. You then go into the next year and you get all the way, what it was, to the AFC Championship? And it's the flukiest shit imaginable. Games they should have lost, they just spark up in the fourth quarter with all bunch of circumstances. Games where the offense is putrid and just embarrassing, where I'm seeing bubble screens, overthrows, misdirections, bad play calling from Sean Payton. We would have made the Super Bowl if we would have fucking had Bo Nix. You would have potentially made the Super Bowl if Sean Payton didn't go for it, instead kick a field goal. Like if he would have kicked a field goal and the game stayed exactly the same, you motherfuckers would have been in overtime, where I'm willing to bet on the Denver Broncos defense to stall these motherfuckers long enough and y'all to get up the field and kick a field goal. But no, that's not what happened. And mind you, if Denver would have went to the Super Bowl without Bo Nix, the same thing would have happened. Even with Bo Nix, I'm liable to say that Seahawks defense would have chewed through Denver's offense. Because they did not, there's nobody who can say with a straight face Denver had an explosive offense throughout last season. It is impossible, and it would be an objective lie. Listen, J.K. Dobbins got hurt throughout the season. Okay, cool. Next man up, not really doing too much in the run game. 2 games out of 17 where the running is over, where the rushing yards are over 100. I'm not really much okay with that. Should I see every game a running back getting 300 yards? No. But when I'm looking at the fucking stats and I'm seeing only 2 games of where I can look at the offense and say, or where I can look at the rushing and say that these motherfuckers did something, out of 17, you only give me 2? It's like, the Afroman case is funny. The Afroman case is funny, but we've already talked about the Afroman case. We already heard the song. We saw 2 different cops have to answer questions about their wife getting fucked by Afroman. It's like a complete breakdown of the case would be boring to me. But like the clips, they're funny. Yes, we did. It's a fucking week ago, but we did. Or was that just on Twitch? See, I remember talking about Afroman. Chris was here. I think Chris was present when I did it. What's happening? I mean, I haven't streamed for almost a week, so, you know, gaps in our minds they're showing. Chainsaw Man ended. I already talked about that. I don't got Twitch. See, now I'm wondering if I even talked about it. What was that last stream I did? Let me look at the last YouTube stream and let me see if, because I'll be honest, if I only talked about this shit on Twitch, I only talked about it on Twitch and I don't care. Like, if I only talked about it on Twitch, then fuck, I don't care. I don't see a potential reason to re-speak about it. This is not the last stream. This is the stream before that. No, that's this stream. God damn it! Fucking browser. This is the last stream. Shut up. Let me skim through this. No. I didn't talk about it. I might have only did. No, I did. Ha ha. Fuck y'all. I did. I talked about this 5 days ago. Fuck y'all. Ha ha. Ha ha. Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. I did talk about this. I talked about it on YouTube. Ha ha. Fuck y'all. Ha ha. Ha ha. If you wasn't here for it, you wasn't here for it. It's your fault. I told you, give up your life to watch me. That's what you should do. You're going to miss all the fun things in the midst of, women defending their sons and blaming victims. Do you still have the article about meth? What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? An article about the methamphetamine. An article about the methamphetamine. What the fuck was that? What is this? What is this? I'm not comfortable. I'm uncomfortable with the idea of an arc shooting lasers and Chris sent me this too. I was about to send this to Chris. New battle pass for ARC Raiders. I don't think is there a battle pass? Well, there is. There is a battle pass in ARC Raiders. There is one. But if I could be honest, there is no way to buy through it. At least I don't think. I could be so wrong about that, Liz. I could be so long. I could be so wrong. I don't know how to feel about this. It's like, because there's like a thunder being shot at, and there's also a laser beam at the same time. I don't know. I stopped watching because I didn't want to listen to that VTuber cry about not taking accountability. Well, see, that's why you need to watch the streams, because sometimes we could talk about one thing straight and then I get sidetracked and talk about Afroman. But you know what? In the case of Afroman, I feel it important to bring up. I don't think I saved it. I did save it. Netanyahu's a son of a bitch.
Netanyahu is a son of a bitch. Yeah. And that's why I fucked his wife and got filthy rich.
There you go. There you go. And who better to post that than Adolf Elmer? Oh, fuck, bro. What do we do? What are we gonna do? Oh, fuck, bro. Best part is him saying he doesn't know if it's true or not. That's the worst part, honestly. Like, that's truly the worst part. Him having to look his wife in the him having to answer a question about his fucking wife fucking another man. It's truly concerning. It's concerning because of just how ass backwards it is. Oh wait, I do have another thing to talk about. Our resident hentai watcher. He's all right. He's all right. He almost died, and apparently he shouldn't be alive. I don't know why.
So it's been about a month since everything went down, and I started going to therapy, and I started...
What is everything that went down? You getting cocked?
Going to the gym on a weekly basis, and I felt like today was a perfect day as any to really kind of update all of you guys, because you've been asking me a lot in the comments, like, Chibi, how you been doing? Are you doing better? Could you give us an update? And so I felt like today is a good day as any to be able to do so, since it's a beautiful day outside. It's nice, bright and shining, beautiful weather, and yeah, I'm actually in the wilderness, and that is, no joke, a waterfall's behind me. I don't know if you guys can actually hear that or not. Have no idea if my phone can pick that up. But I just wanted to go on a hike today, honestly. I just wanted to see the sunshine and go on a trail and all that. And I even took my little wiener dog out to go on the trail with me, which I might put a clip over the screen right now for you can kind of see her walking with me on the trail and even swimming. She dived into the water near the waterfall and was trying to...
Imagine walking in and seeing your dog just standing outside the room getting cucked, while you stand with him getting cucked, while your wife, fiance, is just getting penetrated by your man's
swim. So I might put a clip of that on the screen. I don't know how it'll turn out or whatever, but if it's there you go, you can see it. But with that being said, though, I just wanted to take a few moments to also talk about how thankful I am to all of you guys, because to just completely be blunt with you guys, I would not be here if it wasn't for all of you. And
you also would be here because of people, because you was getting clowned on. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You was getting clowned on. I'm talking sun up. That was 3 days where my algorithm showed me nothing but motherfuckers mocking this dude.
When I say that, I mean it legitimately. I'm not talking about like being in the hiking trail in the wilderness or whatever. I'm talking strictly, I as a person would...
I was bedridden while this whole thing was going down. Bro, imagine just going on your phone and you see one tweet about this and you like it because you know it was funny, you laughed, and then you just like get off social media, and then like hours later your timeline is just nothing but people ripping this dude. I'm talking, they sun up, sun down, 4 o'clock in the morning, just chibi tweet, and he made it worse. Because he posts these long paragraphs about, oh, I like Lolly. My wife's a goonette. It's like, bro, okay.
Would not be here if it wasn't for all of you. A month ago, so many of you guys reached out to me.
Shat on
words
you.
of encouragement, love, support. You know who you are. You know what you've done. And it's so overwhelming how much support I got. I'm still reading through so many messages to this very day. There's just so much. And I appreciate all of you guys. I really do. And I like I said, I would not be here alive right now, technically, if it wasn't for you guys. You guys, you saved me. I know that might seem crazy and unbelievable, and some might even say that's parasocial, but that is the truth. I would legit not be here right now, alive, and walking, breathing, and all that. Being able to see this beautiful light right now and the hiking trail and everything, if it wasn't for all of you guys. And I greatly appreciate that more than anything. And I thank you guys.
Oh, you're welcome.
I am very...
Me, Chris, Sly, we were all there for you, buddy.
Very happy about the support, because obviously it's very easy to dive into all the negativity and talk about all the others that were preying on my downfall, wanting me to commit the act, go full on and be gone and everything. It's easy to just get wallowed in that despair and misery and talk about that. But the thing is that sometimes it's good to back away and look at the positive side of things. And like I said already, starting this conversation, there's so much overwhelming support that I've received. Letting that kind of thrown to the wayside and only looking at all the bad and negativity, I don't think is necessarily a healthy or good thing. Maybe the therapy is working. With that being said, though, I just wanted to take a few moments to just say I appreciate you guys more than anything. And I am trying to go to the gym weekly. I'm trying to stick to it, and I'm trying to bump it up maybe to 3 to 4 times a day. That is one of my big objectives. A big other objective, at least for this year, that I want to do.
I want you to listen really closely to what he's about to say is the big objective for this year. And when you hear it, keep in mind He lost his bitch to his mans.
And I'm just gonna keep it blunt. I don't know if it's realistic or not, or maybe it's easy. I have no idea.
He doesn't know if his goal is realistic.
Yeah, once again, I'm doing the gym by, like, just on my own. I have no one really guiding me or teaching me or anything like that. So I've been learning on my own for the last month, basically. But one of the big things I do want to do before this year's up, I want to be able to, like, lift 100 pounds. Like, I think it's called dead.
You mean to tell me you at your big ass age, you can't lift no ass? Like average woman about 130. You telling me you can't lift no booty? You can't lift no ass, bring it to the bedroom? You telling me as a man, you ain't never just picked your bitch up, brought her to the bedroom and got the going? See, I wasn't gonna say that shit. I wasn't gonna say that shit, but you can't. You telling me you can't just like woo? Now look, everybody can't do it when they start out. You gotta build that tone, but over time you should be able to just like scoot. Now a bitch that's like 400 pounds. No, you have a hard time pushing her back on the fucking bed. But like, you telling me you can't scoop your bitch up, then throw her on that bed? You mean to tell me you can't pick her up, have her legs wrapped around you, like shimmy her down? Never mind. And anyway, I'm good, everybody. I'm out. I'm good. I'm going down memory lane. Yeah, when I was dicking down your dad. Anyway,